Addicted to Curry. Naru Shokutaku is a cooking manga series containing full professional recipes for all dishes at the end of each chapter. Written and illustrated by Kazuki Funatsu. Published in Shueisha's Weekly Young Jump between 2001 and 2012. A sequel under the same name is currently in serialization. Due to its regularly included ecchi content, the manga is seen as controversial by some people, sometimes marked as adult and mature in manga forums, and it cannot be marketed towards children and teenagers, as is common for many comedy comics in the West. Those are the likely reasons of the lack of wider publication of praise for this manga series in many countries, such as the UK and the USA. In opposite to other cooking manga such as Kitchen Princess Yakitate Japan. Story. Addicted to Curry is the story of Sonizaki Yui, a schoolgirl, whose father is the owner of curry house cooking Ganesha Yui, who frequently adopts strays and starving animals she finds on the street. One day finds a young man lying in the road and, out of her good nature, wants to give him something to eat. She trips and hits him in the face with a soda can, and runs away. The young man, Koenji Makito, follows her curry scent back to the restaurant. At first, Yui thinks that Koenji is going to kill her for throwing food at him. But it turns out that he's a nice guy who knew and was looking for Yui's father, Sorishiru. Yui tells Makito that the restaurant is going out of business and that her father Suichiro has left on a journey with the goal of improving his cooking abilities, pretty much leaving her alone with the restaurant. Koenji, who is in debt to both Yui and her father, decides to team up with Yui in order to save the restaurant. Characters. Main characters. Makito Koenji. Koenji Makito, born on January 22 in Singapore to Japanese parents. The protagonist of the story whose life was saved by Sonizaki Suichiro. Sonizaki promised to tell Makito about the person he was looking for if he come to Ganesha Curry restaurant. But when Makito arrives there, he finds that Suichiro has left because business was doing badly. Makito decides to wait and repay Sonizaki by keeping open his restaurant. Makito can cook curry just like Suichiro. Makito, unlike Suichiro, strays away from the traditional idea of curry. By doing this, Makito attracts many customers and proves himself to be a shrewd cook. Makito prepares curry dishes quickly and easily. Makito also has a perverted side to him and often tries to peep and or grope women. He sometimes watches Yui while she showers, dresses. He often has a scene with a stick of cinnamon in his mouth that makes it appear as if he is smoking, which he claims helps him stay calm and focused. He may have feelings for Yui. His father was a food critic who abandoned his mother for unknown reasons before his birth. After his mother's death in a car accident, he dreams of being a famous chef in hopes of confronting him and obtaining his notes from the time he spent with his mother, believing that they hold the key to replicating his mother's chicken curry, the only curry dish he is unable to make. He is defeated by Suichiro in a curry battle at the end of the first arc and decides to return to Osaka. He has since been working in a new restaurant and has, along with his new friends, roommates, and co-workers, become embroiled in a nationally televised cutthroat cooking competition known as Edible Fight. Yui Sonizaki. Sonizaki Yui, the daughter of Sonizaki Suichiro, born on October 10, 1985. She is a first year at Toratsu Shinit High School and is in the Kendo Club. Yui is generally a nice, mild-mannered girl who will stop to feed any hungry animal she sees and even bring the animal home. She sometimes can be short-tempered and fragile. Her father owns a curry restaurant, but when the business fails he goes to sharpen his cooking skills. leaving the restaurant to Yui. Despite the fact that her father abandoned her, Yui still loves him and his curry cooking. When Yui meets Makito, she teams up with him to save the restaurant. She tries to help Makito as much as possible and comes to admire and respect his ways. She has feelings for Makito. She has recently traveled to Osaka in hopes of reuniting with Makito. Aokaro Restaurant. Munakata Shigemitsu. Shigemitsu Munakata, the owner of the Western cuisine restaurant Aokaro and Yuko's father. He always wear an eye patch Yuko gave him despite not being blind. Makito worked for him 2 years ago and wants him to come back, even going as far as to let him have his daughter. He was later diagnosed with cancer, and walked Yoko down the aisle of a mock wedding to Makito, although it was his wife who staged the whole cancer lie. Munakata Yoko. Yuko Munakata, Yui's pretty teacher who's also an old friend of Makito. Her father is Munakata Shigemitsu. She has great respect for Makito's cooking skills. Getting drunk turns her into a violent dominatrix. She might have feelings for Makito in the past. Mukai Shinji. Shinji Mukai, a young ambitious chef in training employed by Aokaro, but working with Makito and Yui at Curry House, cooking Ganesha as a return favor and as a sort of education, since no one at Aokaro has time to teach him. The first time he observed Makito, he was disappointed at Makito for not doing the way a chef is supposed to act, according to the manual chef book he has. But after Yui points out that not everybody is perfect and even Makito has his own weak spot, he starts to watch Makito and he sees that the customers enjoy his way as a chef. He now wants to learn from Makito how to cook curry. His dream is to open a curry shop of his own. Saran Corporation. Kanamori. Kanamori wants to buy cooking Ganesha from Yui and he will do anything to get it, as far as to give over 30 million yen. When Yui rejects the money, he buys the rental CD next door to cooking Ganesha called Curry Shop India to steal cooking Ganesha's customers. But that doesn't bother Makito at all. So he asks one of the co-workers, Udo, to have a curry battle against Makito. The rules were that if Makito loses, he would have to give cooking Ganesha away to him, and if they lose, he won't bother them ever again. However, the plan failed as Makito's food overpowered Dudu's food. Supporting characters. Shinozaki. Shinozaki is a very large woman who frequently eats at the Ganesha curry restaurant and will defend it with all her power to keep it open. She is belligerent and short-tempered. Shinozaki attends a female-only college and is a wrestler. Other characters. Suichiro Sonizaki. Sonizaki Suichiro, Yui's father and the man who saved Makito from dying of starvation long ago. He promised to tell Makito about the person he was looking for if he came to Ganesha restaurant. However, Suichiro leaves his restaurant and his daughter to improve his curry cooking abilities. He returns at the end of the first arc, where he defeats Makito in a curry competition for the restaurant's future. The competition portrays Suichiro as almost superhuman when he becomes focused on cooking, and his dish was, despite its plain appearance, a perfect meal that encompassed the very essence of curry as a meal for friends and family. Hatsumi Sonizaki. Hatsumi is Sorishiro's older brother's daughter and Yui's cousin. Hatsumi comes to the curry restaurant to check up on Yui, who was actually supposed to come live with her. Hatsumi reveals that she has no cooking talent and asks Yui to teach her to cook, but they both fail at making instant curry. Staff. Kazuki Funatsu, story and art. Takeshi Moriada, culinary expert. Media. Manga. Written and illustrated by Kazuki Funatsu. The chapters of the Addicted to Curry series have been in Shueisha's weekly Young Jump magazine. between July 2001 issue and November 29, 2012. The series ended after 534 chapters. The first volume of Addicted to Curry was released on July 19, 2001, and the last one was published on January 18, 2013, totalizing 49 volumes. See also Antique Bakery, Bambino, and its sequel Bambino Secondo, Cooking Papa, Chukarikaban, also known as Cooking Master Boy, Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma, Iron Wakyan, Kitchen Princess, Mr. Ajiko, Nobunaga no Chef, Ashimbo, Shota no Sushi, Toriko, Yakitate Japan, Umero Patissiere, Addicted to Curry official Japanese website, Addicted to Curry, Manga, at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia.